If your life looks good on paper, but when you're sitting alone in your car, you feel a profound sense of dread, then we need to talk. What you're feeling is, in those quiet moments when you're alone, when there's no distractions, your feelings and thoughts that you've been pushing down start to bubble up. And it's scary. And I know you're not alone. That feeling of just dis-ease is called self-abandonment. And what's so tricky about it is that you don't even know it's happening until it stops. Because we get so used to abandoning ourselves, to denying what we feel, to saying yes when we mean no, to feeling everything in our body just contracting, but we act like everything's okay. Or we don't speak up when something actually bothers us. These are all the ways that we abandon ourselves. And I think that especially for women in midlife, it's been a way of life. It's what you do to keep going. Maybe you've abandoned yourself just to smooth things over, to get along, to play nice, because you don't have the energy to speak up and stand up for what you really need. And maybe you feel like nobody cares. But when you're alone, you just know something isn't right. And you're afraid to admit what that is. And I know because I just came to the realization that I have been abandoning myself for a long time around the job that I just left. I wouldn't even let myself feel it. And when we abandon ourselves, when we push down and try to deny what we really feel and try to ignore it and gloss over it, it shows up in other ways. So maybe you're numbing yourself with food or alcohol, or you're doing mindless social media scrolling or anything that could keep you distracted so you don't have to actually feel what you really feel inside because it's terrifying. And I was doing this regarding my last job up until I quit. I just couldn't let myself feel what I really felt. And once I quit, I had this realization, all these feelings bubbled up. I allowed myself to feel the dissatisfaction with that situation, and I allowed myself to feel what I really feel, which is that my purpose is to help people. It's what I've done my whole life. And now I'm in an era where I get to help other women who want to redesign their lives with intention and purpose. And I wouldn't let myself fully feel that while I was in that job because it was too painful. And so maybe you know what this feels like, where you deny what you really feel just so you can keep going because it's too hard, it's too scary, and it's too painful to acknowledge what you really feel inside. So you've been dragging yourself out of bed every day. You have been stuffing down what you feel just so you can carry on and keep things moving and keep functioning. And it's no way to live. You know, we do what we have to do when we have to do it. Lord knows it. Women are especially good at this, you know, because culture teaches us to be agreeable, to don't rock the boat. And so we get so used to abandoning ourselves, we don't even know we're doing it. It just becomes a way of life. And I didn't realize I was doing it. I knew that certain things would happen at work, and it actually reminded me of my toxic relationship. It would, something in me would just contract. And I felt anger or fury. But there was no point to feeling it, is what I told myself, because I'm not going anywhere. I need to just bite my lip and take it. So I did. And I've been miserable because of it. And I know that you go through periods in life where it's not ideal. and you don't have your dream job and your dream life, and you have to grin and bear it. But we have to at least be able to admit to ourselves what we feel. Because if we don't, we become somebody else. We can become someone we don't want to be. And when we don't admit it, there is absolutely no opportunity, no foundation for change. And once I did what I actually felt in my soul, which was to leave the job, I realized I could feel again. I didn't realize I was numbing myself. I didn't realize I was abandoning myself and pushing down my feelings. And now I can feel again, and it's like, it's scary because there's a ton of uncertainty and responsibility and ownership that comes with feeling everything again. But at the same time, it's liberating. It's like the world is going from black and white to color again. And I'm so grateful. And I want to tell you that you can learn to feel again. You can let yourself feel again. And it is scary. It can be scary. And if you're afraid that your whole life is going to collapse, if you let yourself feel what you've been denying, what you've been numbing and pushing down, then maybe that collapse is what's necessary for you to move forward. Maybe that shakeup is what you need so that you can actually finally align with your soul, listen to what it's trying to tell you, and come up with a soul-owned strategy to move forward in your life. And I want to tell you that you don't have to navigate this gap from who you've been to who you really want to be alone. You don't have to do it by yourself. And I want to hear from you, like, what are you ready to leave behind? It takes courage to move forward. It takes courage to admit what you know deep down inside, but you've been afraid to acknowledge. And you don't have to do it alone. Wishing you peace and strength.